In a world increasingly shaped by division and unrest, the BJMP P Center stands as a testament to what focused leadership, collective resolve, and compassion can achieve within our justice system. What began as a response to a growing need for security and rehabilitation has now evolved into a transformative program, one that humanizes our laws, upholds dignity, and strengthens peace in the most fragile corners of society like jails. Since its inception in 2021, the Center has worked with unwavering commitment, developing innovative programs, building national and international partnerships, and institutionalizing policies that safeguard both our citizens and those entrusted to our custody. Its achievements speak not only of compliance with mandates, but of a deeper purpose to rebuild lives, restore faith, and reinforce the idea that every person, regardless of their past, deserves a chance to hope, to heal, and to change. The BJMP Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism Center is a specialized unit within the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology in the Philippines, created through a department order issued by the Department of the Interior and Local Government on February 11, 2021. Anchored on the principles of peace, justice, and inclusive development, the Center operates in full alignment with the Philippine National Action Plan on Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism, the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020, Republic Act No. 6975, and other relevant international instruments and national frameworks. Guided by these mandates, the Center leads the charge in institutionalizing humane and rights-based approaches to the management of persons deprived of liberty with terrorism-related cases. Through its work, the BJMP P Center reaffirms the agency's commitment to security, transformation, and the long-term peace and safety of the nation. The core responsibilities of the BJMP P Center encompass a wide range of functions critical to the management and rehabilitation of persons deprived of liberty with terrorism-related cases. These include the coordination and support of welfare and development programs tailored to the needs of this population, the consolidation and maintenance of a comprehensive database of PDL with terrorism-related offenses or affiliations to extremist groups, and the conduct of research, as well as policy and program development to strengthen institutional responses to violent extremism and terrorism. The Center also leads capacity-building initiatives for BJMP personnel, particularly in the areas of peace building, preventing and countering violent extremism, and countering terrorism, while fostering strategic stakeholder engagement and interagency collaboration. Representing the BJMP in both national and international conferences, consultations, and fora, the Center plays a pivotal role in advancing discourse and cooperation on security and rehabilitation matters. Moreover, it serves as the official liaison of the BJMP to key government bodies, such as the Anti-Terrorism Council Program Management Center, the DILG's National PCV Secretariat, and the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, ensuring alignment with broader national peace and security efforts. Over the past years, the BJMP P Center has significantly contributed to the enhancement of the correction system in the Philippines by advancing reforms rooted in peace building, security, and rehabilitation. In 2021, the Center spearheaded a series of capacity-building activities aimed at increasing awareness and understanding of PCVE among jail officers nationwide. These initiatives marked the beginning of a more intensified and institutionalized approach to implementing PCVE programs across BJMP-managed jail facilities. This effort was made possible through the continued support of the Anti-Terrorism Council Program Management Center and the Department of the Interior and Local Government. In the same year, the BJMP also adopted the Peace Building and Development Policy, further solidifying the agency's commitment to fostering an environment of transformation and resilience within places of detention. In 2022, the BJMP P Center made key advancements in its operational and institutional capacity. It successfully developed and established an improved database system to efficiently track and manage information on persons deprived of liberty with terrorism-related cases. At the same time, It invested in strengthening the capabilities of its personnel assigned to the center, ensuring they are equipped with the necessary competencies to handle complex and sensitive cases. The grade of award was institutionalized on the same year as a reward and recognition program for jail facilities exhibiting exemplary performance in the areas of peacebuilding and PCVE. In November 2022, the Department of the Interior and Local Government formally recognized the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology for its significant contributions to the successful implementation of the National Action Plan on Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism. The BJMP was conferred the highest recognition for its steadfast support to the PCVE program, particularly for leading its assigned cluster with distinction and delivering impactful results. This commendation highlights the agency's critical role in advancing the government's overarching goals of peace, development, and national security, affirming the BJMP's position as a key stakeholder in the country's whole-of-nation approach to preventing and countering violent extremism. That same year, the Center embarked on a landmark one-year project focused on the development of an assessment and classification system for PDL with terrorism-related cases and violent extremist offenders. This initiative was carried out with the support of the United States Department of Justice International Criminal Investigative Training Assistance Program, the Australian Embassy, and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. In December 2023, the final output of this collaborative project was formally presented to the Anti-Terrorism Council Program Management Center and subsequently institutionalized within both the BJMP and the Bureau of Corrections. This achievement marks a significant milestone in the corrections pillar in the Philippines, as it effectively humanizes the implementation of the National Action Plan on PCVE and the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020, while promoting a more just, rehabilitative, and rights-based approach to managing high-risk detainees. The Center partnered with the Peace Project team of the United States Embassy in the Philippines to develop modules for its peace education program through a series of consultations and workshops. In 2023, the BJMP CVE Center continued to elevate its role on both the national and international stage by representing the agency in a series of high-level consultations, dialogues, and fora. With the support of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, a delegation of BJMP personnel conducted a study and facility tour in Australia to observe best practices and intervention models for managing high-risk persons deprived of liberty and violent extremist offenders. The center launched the Kapihan sa PCVE Center, which is a platform to engage with our jail facilities nationwide for regular capacity building and information dissemination. The center represented the BJMP at the International Association of Chiefs of Police through the Engaging Multinational Policewomen on Equality and Rights program of the United States Department of Justice International Criminal Investigative Training Assistance Program, strengthening the agency's participation in global conversations on peace and security. In addition, the BJMP CVE Center supported the implementation of the Read Your Way Out project in partnership with the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, which culminated in the institutionalization of jail libraries across BJMP facilities, an initiative that reinforces the role of education and literacy and rehabilitation. In the same year, the center launched the inaugural Grey Dove Awards, a recognition and rewards program honoring jail facilities that demonstrated outstanding performance in the areas of peace building, PCVE, and counterterrorism. This initiative not only celebrated institutional excellence, but also fostered a culture of innovation and commitment to humane corrections within the BJMP. In 2023, the BJMP CVE Center initiated the development of the Islam Handbook in Places of Detention, a practical guide for custodial officers in the Philippines. This groundbreaking publication was the product of a multi-agency collaboration between the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, the Bureau of Corrections, the Philippine National Police, the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos, and the Commission on Human Rights. It also received vital technical support from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime through its program office in the Philippines. The initiative stems from the recognition that the right of persons deprived of liberty to freely practice their religion is a fundamental human right, safeguarded by international standards and best practices in custodial and correctional management. In June 2024, the handbook was formally launched in the presence of partner agencies and stakeholders. This milestone reinforces the BJMP's commitment to fostering a culturally sensitive, inclusive, and rights-based corrections environment, ensuring that the treatment of PDL, particularly those from Muslim communities, remains consistent with international norms and respectful of religious diversity within Philippine detention facilities. On the same year, a significant number of jail officers nationwide have completed the Positive Peace course in the online platform of the Institute for Economics and Peace, an independent think tank dedicated to measuring peace and its economic value. In November 2024, the BJMP P Center launched a landmark initiative with the support of the Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity through the successful implementation of a referral system for an aftercare program tailored for persons deprived of liberty with terrorism-related cases. This pioneering effort has since become a model for other jail facilities across the country managing similar cases, demonstrating a practical and humane approach to rehabilitation and reintegration. Also on the same month, the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology supported the successful implementation of the European Union Philippines Regional Workshop on disengagement and radicalization of inmates with terrorism-related cases, in partnership with the European Union Enhancing Security Cooperation in and with Asia and the Indo-Pacific. This two-day operational workshop convened frontline practitioners from across the European Union and the Indo-Pacific region who work directly with extremist individuals in custodial settings. Participants included specialized prison officers, de-radicalization counselors, and counterterrorism police officers from Germany, the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. The workshop served as a platform for exchanging insights, sharing lessons learned, and discussing emerging best practices in the management and transitional rehabilitation of incarcerated extremists. In the same year, the BJMP further strengthened its peace education initiatives through a strategic partnership with the Prem Rawat Foundation, reinforcing the agency's policy on integrating peace education across its programs and operations. Notably, the Lipa City Jail male dormitory has emerged as a successful model within the BJMP for effectively implementing this program, demonstrating the positive impact of peace education on persons deprived of liberty and the custodial environment. Also in 2024, the BJMP and the Armed Forces of the Philippines formalized an agreement for mutual support and collaboration focused on enhancing the capacity of jail officers in preventing and countering violent extremism and terrorism. The BJMP currently participates in PCVE class courses in the Armed Forces of the Philippines. In September 2025, the Center led the implementation of Countering Violent Extremism, Dynamic Security, and Prison Intelligence in collaboration with the International Corrections and Prisons Association, an organization which aims to advance humane and effective correctional policies and practices worldwide. Furthermore, over the past years, the BJMP has been a steadfast supporter of the various programs initiated by the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, or the NTF-LCAP. These efforts aim to bring an end to decades of insurgency marked by deceit, violence, and atrocities committed against the Filipino people, while promoting sustainable and inclusive peace throughout the country. To ensure the stability and sustainability of its programs, the BJMP CVE Center actively cultivates and maintains both international and national networks and partnerships. These strategic linkages serve to strengthen the agency's capacity and broaden its resources in addressing violent extremism and promoting rehabilitation. Among its key collaborators are the Philippine National Police Salam Police Center, Bureau of Corrections, Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity, Armed Forces of the Philippines Center for Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism, Anti-Terrorism Council Program Management Center, National Youth Commission, National Amnesty Commission, National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, United States Department of Justice International Criminal and Investigative Training Assistance Program, Australian Government, the Prem Rawat Foundation Peace Education Program, Universidad Nacional de Educación a Distancia, European Union Enhancing Security Cooperation in and with Asia, all member agencies of the PDL with terrorism-related cases and violent extremist offenders cluster of the National Action Plan on Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism. Let us take pride in how far we have come, but let us also recognize that this journey is far from over. Every PDL rehabilitated, every officer capacitated, every policy enacted brings us one step closer to a society where peace is not just a goal, but a lived reality. From policy reform to capacity building, from groundbreaking aftercare systems to internationally recognized cooperation initiatives, the BJMP P CVE Center has reshaped the landscape of jail management in the Philippines. But perhaps its most powerful contribution is its strong belief in transformation over condemnation, in peace through understanding, and in justice that does not end with imprisonment, but begins with restoration. It is said that in every challenge lies the seed of transformation. True progress is not measured by how far we rise, but by how deeply we reach out to uplift others. Today, more than ever, we are called not just to lead, but to listen, not just to serve, but to understand. When we choose empathy over judgment, hope over fear, and unity over division, we become part of something greater than ourselves. Let us move forward with courage, knowing that even the smallest act of kindness can spark change, and that together we can build a future rooted in dignity, justice, and peace. Together, with empathy as our compass and courage as our guide, we will continue this mission, not merely to prevent or counter violent extremism, but to build bridges, nurture second chances, and create a safer, stronger Philippines for all.